Welcome to episode 5 of the Druid True First Life series. In this episode, I'm going to be doing Elite Irestone Inlet Extreme Challenge. Alright, so less than a rank from level 7. Let me show you where I'm at in the Adventure Compendium. So I am Elite streaking. Everything I've done is on Elite except for the solo quest that I've done, of course. And at level 6, I'm focusing on doing my level 4 elites. And all I've done was the level 4 parts of Tangleroot, the level 4 parts of Waterworks, and then the level 4 part of STK. And that's all I've done. And I'm almost level 7. So when my ship came in, after I did Waterworks and I turned that in at Harbor Master's Inn, I had a vibrant purple ironstone in the reward list. I was shocked. And so I knew that would sell for big money. Posted it for a max plat on the auction house and it sold last night. I logged in and gathered up all my plat from all my auction house sales and I started today. So this is day 4 with 1.8 million plat on day 4. I'm pretty happy about that. That is far beyond what I was hoping for. I mean, the Ironstone made all the difference in the world. I was hoping to reach a 500,000 plat, and I was going to come in probably right around there without that. Maybe a little bit short, actually. Alright, so at level 6 I picked up Empower Spell. And so now I can apply those meta magics, empower and maximize for free to my SLAs, the spell-like abilities. And so, I've got Call Lightning, totally awesome. I mean, I'm one-shotting so many mobs right now with that. And then, the Creeping Cold, and of course the Produce Flame SLAs are the 3 SLAs I'm rocking right now. On the enhancement side, I want to mention that, if you're a little bit newer, when you have an enhancement, of course, you got to pull it from your enhancement sheet when you first get it and bring it down in, like, your hotbar, for example, like if I'm doing Call Lightning. Now, when you first purchase Tier 1 and you drag that Tier 1 down and then, a couple ranks later you upgrade it and you get it up to Tier 2 and 3, you need to re-drag it from your enhancement sheet down into and overwrite the old one. Otherwise, it's going to be functioning as the old one. So make sure you overwrite your enhancements when you max them out. Another enhancement I picked up is Spring's Resurgence. This one is huge and is overlooked by a lot of people who are newer to Druid. I love this enhancement. It's one of my favorites in the tree, and it is going to be especially valuable on this first lifer. Now, the way that Spring's Resurgence work is when I fall below 50% health, a heal automatically kicks in. And so at this level, it's going to heal me to full. Well, I only have it at Tier 1, but, that's going to be my next priority to max that out. But it's just an automatic heal. It's so nice, and it sort of throws, the visual effect is it puts a bunch of leaves on the ground at your feet. So you can tell when it goes off, and as soon as you see those leaves, you want to get used to just recasting Spring's Resurgence right away. It's only 8 spell points, and when I get it maxed out, it'll be 4 spell points. Really awesome. I think there is a bug right now where it's not working on others. When you cast it on somebody else, it actually procs on the caster instead of on them. I don't know how long it's been that way. I think a while, but I haven't tested it out in a few months, but I haven't heard anything to the contrary. But if you're new to Druid, don't overlook Spring's Resurgence. It's totally awesome. And then I picked up the 3rd innate in the Season's Herald line. For spells, let's see, I picked up Vigor. I don't even have that slotted. And then I also picked up Fire Trap. If I want to have an AoE, I don't really use it at this level, but there wasn't really anything else attractive, so I just picked it. But that's that's like a burst thing that you can drop at your feet. If you're fighting a bunch of mobs, you can drop it right there, and then a few seconds later it'll explode in a fireball. I didn't mention resist energy before. This is a really important one, and I wanted to show you that you can slot up the individual, when you click it you get the selector, but you can pull those down into your hotbar You can see like I have down here, and you can have every individual one right there. So it's just a one click. So if you're doing, like I'm doing waterworks, and I got these damn casters casting freaking lightning bolts at me, I just want to hit the electrical resistance. If you have high level ship buffs, though, this is going to be, kind of meaningless to you, but it's important to me because I'm not using ship buffs. And I'm definitely feeling that. I talked about that before. I'm feeling some pain from that. I'm not going to be using the pet in this one because I feel like the pet will be a liability. This is a pretty hard-hitting quest for the level, especially for the first lifer, and I feel like the dog's just going to get obliterated. So I'm going to keep him in my backpack. Let's take a look at the gear. It's mostly the same. I've got Wisdom 3 on the goggles now. Just the best I could find. I'm not sure if this is new. Yeah, it is, because it's level 6. So it's just the highest armor I could find. The Combat Mastery, the Undead Guard, not really doing anything for me, but it did have a blue slot, and I was able to find a Sapphire of Resistance +2 on the auction house for dirt cheap, so I picked that up right away, figuring I could use it in lowly levels, and sure enough, I found this armor with a blue slot, so that was perfect. Still got my beloved Bracers of Wind. Next level, I'm going to have to start looking into getting that upgraded to the level 7 version. Still got the Ring of Feather Falling. Still got the Dex boots with Thorn Guard. Wizardry 30, Potency 31 on the gloves. The Wizardry is redundant, but that's for Glaciation 40 on the ring. 75% fortification on the belt. The Cloak of Flames that I got at the end of last episode. Combustion 54. Fire Lore 8. Heightened Awareness 1. Totally awesome. Great for Druid. Great for any caster that's doing fire damage. Still got this stupid Strength +1 bauble. And Con 2, Devotion 46 on the necklace. That's the same. Sheltering 5, Spell Focus Mastery +1. Yeah, it's not a bad item. I might have had that last video, but I like it. I found it. I think... I don't know where I found it. In any event, it's pretty cool. Gives me a little bit of PRR and +1 to all my spells. Let's see. The shield might have been the same as... Yeah, I think it's the same as last. It's just the highest shield bonus I could find. I got another shield waiting for me at level 7 that I found. And combustion is meaningless, but it's got Thorn Guard too, and it's a higher shield bonus. And then I also found Rusted Shamshir cheap on the auction house. This is a nice level 6 scimitar. It has a higher base damage rating than most scimitars at this level range. It's just something fun to swing around, do a little bit of damage, I am still doing some melee, and that's still important, so I'm not doing much, but it helps. Melee is definitely not a focus of this build, though. But you can swing a weapon. I also found this on the auction house for cheap. Mulb's Fist. This is a neat item for a cold caster. It's got Wizardry too, so that'll help. That's higher than what I have now. The Efficient Meta Magic Enlarge will be meaningless. I don't pick up that spell. But Ice Lore 3, 13% crit chance for my cold spell, so that'll be awesome for level 7. Alright, what else? I don't think there's anything else I need to mention. I did pretty much finish out maxing out my stacks of essential potions. I've got some plat now, buying some supplies. I'm not broke anymore. That's a good feeling. So this is one of those quests, lobby quests that they call an extreme challenge. Like Proof is in the Poison is another extreme challenge. The mobs are a little bit harder hitting than other quests of this level. And I did this when I did the Favorite Soul True First Life, and it took me a long time to do it. I think I can do it faster on this toon. You want to take out the caster right away. Oh, didn't one-shot him, but that's okay. Finish him off with the Produce Flame. Still using potions of Cure Serious Wounds for the bulk of my healing. Let's see if we can pick out the caster here. Really want to focus on the casters. Boom, one shot. Any other casters in there? You can hide. See, right now they're not aggroed on me, so what I can do, I've got time on my side. I can just sit there and cycle through all the targets. And, you know, for the ones that are sort of half stealth, I can look down here in the view screen and I can see where the casters are. Another one shot. Let's get the next caster with Creeping Cold. Now I feel good about coming in here. You know, next level is going to be big. Next level is when I'm going to get Ice Storm, and I'm going to have my first AoE. Get that guy back there with Creeping Cold. And he's going to be dead before he knows it. Lots of chests in here. Hopefully I can get something useful. Can't pick up the powder keg jet until you pick up the note to Dinks. Heal myself up. And target the group. See if you can find any casters in there. You want to get rid of those casters. Oh, look at that. Hobbles a champion. We can't have that. It hit him with the Creeping Cold. And there's another champion too. These champions have been giving me a hard time. Let's see if one Creeping Cold takes out Hobble, the champion. Couple swings too, I'm not really hitting him. Ooh, that hurts. See that? Springs Resurgence saved me. Okay. Finish him off with the Call Lightning. We'll hit the Witch Doctor with Creeping Cold. Hit another Springs Resurgence. They're hitting me with fire spells, so I'm going to do resist fire. Just hit those three with my 3 SLAs. Good to go. You know, this toon is called a quasi-tank, but it's important for me to emphasize, like, if you're newer and you're watching this, I want you to realize that the tank... Oh, Diamond of Wisdom +2. That's something I could actually use. I want you to realize that the tanking ability, like on a first lifer, is not going to be, you know, you're not going to tank EE Fire and Thunder Peak probably on a first lifer. You know, maybe it's shit buffs and you had a bunch of Twinkie or something, but... You know, I don't want to oversell this. Your tanking ability is going to be modest on a first lifer. You know, all the epic past lives and the regular past lives are important, and that's one of the reasons why, you know, I picked up all those on Ginger, because I wanted to be able to tank everything. You know, those past lives created a path for me to be able to tank everything on Ginger Spice. The point is, if you really want to do that, if tanking is important to you on a Druid, there is a path for you. You know, it's a long path, but it's nice that there is that path. Okay, you want to pick out the caster as a cleric up there. He's got to go first. That was right there, that bugbear. That was the SLA of Produce Flame. So I talked before about how, like, it's kind of a joke in that it moves really slow, but if you can learn how to use it, it can be effective. Let's hit this guy with it. One shot again. So don't overlook Produce Flame. That's the point. It's really easy to, because of how slow it moves. You just got to become accustomed to using it. Boom! God, I love Call Lightning. Now, one of the things that I don't have right now that I'm really looking forward to, but it's a few levels away, is Quicken Spell. So, you know, then I'll be casting even faster with Quicken Spell, and my spells won't be able to get interrupted either. But I'm not really having a problem with spell interruption at this point. Dinks. One Creeping Cold's going to take out Dinks. Witch Doctor, one shot. There's another Witch Doctor waiting for the SLA of Call Lightning to come off cooldown, and one shot him too. And Dinks is going down. Oh, not quite, with one with 1 creeping cold. He's just shy of it. "99 points of fire damage to the warg with produce flame." So I've been selling, you know, I'm still hitting the pawn shops up. You know, they're in the market looking for items with slots, especially colored slots, yellow and green slots. And then, you know, disjuncting those and selling them on the auction house for, you know, 25k, 50k, 75k if it's like maybe like a ring with a yellow or green slot. Gotta get those casters. Ooh, someone's sneaking up from behind me. Goodbye. Now that I got the dinks thing. Oh, I didn't read the note. I'll use this shrine anyways. You saw that right away when I walked right by it, didn't you? You're like, you forgot the note! And I wasn't listening. So my buffs right now: Spring's Resurgence, Long Strider, Jump, Spider Skin, Bear's Endurance, Bull Strength. Ooh, Witch Doctor's hiding. Creeping Cold takes care of the Witch Doctor. And a Produce Flame to finish off the warg. Lots of chests. I need it. I mean, I need it for gear. You know, my gear situation is not looking so good. And now even that I have money, I still, you know, I'm not able to find, you know, decent stuff on the auction house. I did put in a bit of Wall of Wood today, but I'm in a bidding war. It's just for the normal version, and it's dirt cheap, but somebody else is bidding against me, and I'll probably lose it because I'm not playing on this server full time. I'm still not telling you what server I'm on. So I won't be, you know, I probably won't be around to watch that auction. But we'll see. You know, I'm really far away from being able to use a Wall of Wood. Anyway, so, you know, I'm just going to keep watching the auction house every day. Looking for the Wall of Woods, looking for the Shamanic Fetish, and other things that I know I'm going to be using down the road. Dragons, blue dragon scales, for example. You know, I posted that Ioun Stone last night, right before I logged off. And I was thinking, like, after I logged off, I probably should have saved it and posted in trade channel and said, you know, I will trade this for a 20 stack of blue scales. And I'm sure I could have gotten 20 scales for that. But then I thought, and I almost logged back in and was gonna, pull it off the auction house. But then I figured I really need the plat right now. I can farm blue scales, but being able to sell something, and I think I got 1.4 million plat after the auction house took its share. Having that amount of plat right now is so huge. I can't use blue dragon scales right now. They're just gonna sit in my bank for the next week. Ooh, he jumped out of the way of my produce flame. Witch doctor's gotta go. Who's hit me? Where'd you come from? We got one more shrine I can use in here. One of the differences, if you're a little bit newer to potions or you're newer to the game, one of the differences between the potions that you get from the guild vendor versus the potions that you get from the general vendors is the potions you get from general vendors can be used on other people. The potions you get from the guild vendor can only be used on self, and they're actually on different cooldowns. So like when you get into like the raid like Caught in the Web where they're spamming curses on you, some people actually like to have both the guild pot of remove curse and the regular one, because that way they can cycle through them if they're getting cursed rapidly. But point is here is that like when your wolf gets cursed or poisoned, you can use these potions on your wolf. I'm gonna go ahead and use my little archivist necklace here, but I'm going straight. Well, I could probably take out one more group, but I definitely want to clear over to that shrine. Stay away from me, champion. There's a cleric, he must die first. That was Produce Flame, 183. I like it. So like I said before, your casting power just starts to ramp up really at around level 5, and then at level 6, when you get that Call Lightning SLA, and you have Empower and Maximize on them, that's a big boost in power there. And like I've said before, focusing on those SLAs is how you want to conserve mana. If you are struggling with your mana pool and you find yourself running out of mana quickly, you really want to focus on using those SLAs. They do have a longer cooldown, so you need to get used to that. Alright, let's go use this shrine. Is this gonna ding me to level 7? Not quite. Probably should be turning off extend right now because I'm not really using up the full length of the buffs when they're extended. Like if I know that I have shrines to work with, then I know I'm not going to be going a long time. With Scar Tongue first, or Scar Tongue. I think I see a witch doctor up there yet. Goodbye. Anybody else over here? No. I left a crew member? Shame on me. See, there's a stealthing witch doctor right there in front of me. Not anymore. That was Produce Flame 207. Pretty solid. Ooh, I need my fire resistance on. $400. So I haven't even, this whole quest, I haven't cast a single regular damaging spell. Only using SLAs. Time to blow up a boat. Love my Archivist necklace. Next I gotta try to get the Twisted Talisman. Good night. I just threw a regular lightning bolt there, or call lightning. Because I know I'm at the end. See if I get a Yar-Yar's Magnificent Band. Nope. well, that's it for Irestone. Now I just gotta go and talk to the pirates to finish it off. Thanks for watching this episode. If you have questions about my build, you can respond in the Druid forum on my build post. If you have questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube. If you're on Sarlona, you're welcome to send me a tell. Now I'm going to go on to level 7. Almost. Have to get a few explorers.